Good morning, everyone. WCS back on the boulevard once again. You already know. Big shout out to the supporters. Salute to everyone who rock out with the channel. We need more. I need for you to understand what it's really about. You know what I'm saying? What you hear, what you know to be true, how much knowledge your brother actually has on multiple combat sports. It should be taken in deep consideration. You feel me? Now, when I'm gone, it's gonna be difficult to emulate. You know what I'm saying? When I'm not on as much, it's gonna be difficult to emulate the ad libs, man. See, I can't come on here every day and be so serious. I can't do it. I can't come on here every day and be so serious and people be so mad about stuff and then be trying to talk about when they see you in public and everything, and all that other stuff. It shouldn't be that serious, but it is. You know what I'm saying? It is to some people. The first in the building. I'm Cam. What's good? One love to the OG Archbishop WCS. Big shout out to one half of the apostles here to lay the hands and spread the good word of boxing. Can I get an amen? Shout out to the apostles over there doing their thing, man. I definitely support your channel. Continue to put out that gospel to the YTC boxing community, brother. Shout out to the OG Bruce Gas Boxer Jazz and more. What's good? Bill's Boot Camp on deck. Salute to you. Listen, we still have conflict, as always, about, people trying to investigate the actions of those shakers and movers that's in the sport. They are the ones who are putting things in motion. They are the ones who putting things in motion. We don't. We just on the outside talking about what we see happening. You're not really influencing what's happening. We're talking about what's exactly happening. You know what I'm saying? We can speak on it from the outside looking in. We just talking about what we see happening. Yeah, Haney signed with Top Rank. He definitely did. People mad he signed 2 days before the fight, and they trying to pretend like he committed the crime. I tell you this. One thing about me, I don't care about the other man's money. These fighters sacrifice themselves. I don't care about the money. I don't care when he signed, how many days he signed before the fight. I don't care about none of that. What I do care about is potentially we may get a fight that's big enough for us to say, I wanted this fight to happen. I wanted this fight to happen. And now it's going to happen. If Haney has one more big fight at 135 pounds, kudos to him. I hope it's against either Gervonta Tank Davis or Shakur Stevenson. Now, like I was saying about putting things in motion, the shakers and the mover put everything in motion. We just here as observers, truth be told. Don't be mad about what you can't participate in. You know what I'm saying? But we do have individuals that's willing to go online every day and speak into existence. Even though their existence is a bubble, they can speak all within that bubble. That's as far as it go. That's as far as it go. That's when the bubble stops. You can say whatever you want about what you think about boxing, but don't cry about situations that's been around and showed their face over and over again throughout the years. If this man signed and you feel he has some type of influence on the decision, Well, look at it this way. A lot of people thought Devin was going to get robbed, but he didn't. I even said Lomachenko was the golden child. But he couldn't win against Orlando Salido. After all that preparation, going over from the Olympics to the World Boxing Super Series, trying to come in the front door and set a record in your second professional fight, getting a championship. Come on, man. You had everything handed to you. You had everything laid out for you. And all of a sudden, people are up here, up in arms because they believe Lomachenko was robbed. I don't think he was robbed. I think it was a close fight. Like I said before, I thought Lomachenko edged it out. I'm not the least bit mad about Devin Haney winning the fight. I'm not, man. I'm not. I'm just not. It's just I'm past that in life to get mad over something just because everybody else wanna somehow turn the script and say, you know what, this is the way I feel about it, really. You know what I'm saying? This is the way I feel about it. This is what I saw in the ring, and this is what I got to say about it. Say say what the hell you want. It's okay. But understand this. This is not the first time a Dave Moretti. This is not the first time a Dave Moretti influenced anything. Who cares about the way he scored on one round of the fight and you think it's controversial? Is he the first referee, you know what I'm saying, to give you the type of behavior that seemed unethical? He's not. Let's just go back to Canelo Triple G, the first one. You know what I'm saying? What happened there? Did those judges get, suspended for life? Did they get banned? If they ain't up here banning these judges, don't let it get you too upset and angry, man. I know it's competitive from a remote distance. It's competitive from the outside looking in. That's how boxing is. You be in a barbershop, conversations strike up, and you like, this person has their opinion, you have your opinion. Sometimes it may be conflict. Sometimes it may gel together like fresh bee honey. You know what I'm saying? It might be sweet like bee honey. But in this boxing, there's a type of behavior that's been set, learned behavior, that a lot of boxing talks end up in debates just because people feel good about debating boxing. Mr. Pass on deck, I see you. And good morning to everybody that's on deck. This wasn't no Pernell Chavez. This was very close, in my opinion, no robbery. I agree with you on that, Pats. This wasn't no, Whitaker Chavez or Whitaker Ramirez. You know what I'm saying? Chavez Taylor. It wasn't that, man. It wasn't that type, a robbery. It wasn't a Barroso Rolly. It wasn't. Barroso Rolly, still the worst out of this right here. This fight between Haney and Lomachenko, I don't look at it in no way, shape, or form as a robbery. Now, when Tony Weeks stopped that Barroso fight, that right there was just crazy. That was in your face. I do what the hell I want to do. I don't have to answer to no one except the commission. Get out of my face. All I'm doing, Swat Jones on deck. What's good? OG, good morning, man. You already know. I'm not that emotionally vested. Don't be, please. Passe, I saw on Twitter that Cop just said he didn't sign 2 days before the fight. He also, to be fair, he was wrong sometime. Okay. Okay, so Coppinger put out, once again, fake information, right? Here go another person that's supposed to be a certified leaker. He's supposed to be what the first line of offense. Coppinger's supposed to be the first line of media offense. And he's up here I haven't read it, but if he's up here saying he released information that wasn't true, he did it on purpose. Because he's supposed to make sure his source is validated. So if he's the first line of offense when it comes to leaking media, he's absolutely wrong. He's wrong for that. He's wrong and it's bullshit. But listen, it's not even a topic of discussion for me. Like, y'all hit the like button too. It's not even a topic of discussion to me whether he signed 2 days before or not. It's not my concern. The fact I'm talking about is that there's so many people that's upset about the decision. I mean, just upset about the decision. They're upset what Paulie Malignaggi said, you wanted the white boy to lose. Paulie said that. Devin's been on record saying what he's saying, but he didn't mention no white boy comment leading up to this fight. I mentioned it because I mentioned both sides of the spectrum. I say Devin has that white boy comment. Lomachenko has that judge was paid off comment. Both of them guys can be held in the balance when it comes to this fight going to the scorecards. That's the way I put it out there. I wasn't hyping on Devin saying that about a white boy. Come in here, never lose to a white boy. I didn't put it like, okay. The only thing I might have said is that he better make sure he don't lose to Lomachenko, because he made the comment. But besides that, people are jumping on everything possible. I mean, like, I've never seen a sport where the media loves to bring in a lot of situations and make it about RACE, right? And they slap that CARD on there. And I told you all several times that in MMA, I don't get that vibe at all. I don't get the vibe that, it's like, it's just all about race. Like, they have so many black champions over here. Unlike boxing. Like, they have so many rotations in and out, in and out. If you're good enough, you can be champion over there. That's without a 1,000 belts. That's without 1,000 belts, man. I'm just being honest. But with boxing, people want to continue to bring other people into the conversation to validate their own sense of thinking. They want to bring Paulie Malignaggi. We already know Paulie is outspoken. We already know he's forthcoming and he speaks his mind, and people don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Someone said I was casually abusive. You know what I'm saying? That's basically them saying that I don't use a lot of obscenities, but yet the way I speak to people, the delivery can be abusive. And I'm like, man, that's some soft ass shit right there. For real. Everybody's crying about something on social media. Everybody's crying about something. We was waiting for this fight to happen. May 20th. The buzz picked up at the last minute. Like, we didn't get the buzz that we supposed to have gotten like we did Tank Garcia. Like, that buzz from the 45 days out, the press conference, from the East to the West Coast, that was different. That was different. That was different. But this fight, it started picking up just a little bit vibration on fight week. Just a little bit more on fight week. Then the push. The push sparked and took people out of their state of rest. The push took people out of their state of rest, man. They was like this. And then when he pushed them, they woke up and said, oh my God. Oh, serious? They looking around, trying to see what everybody else, what is everybody else saying about it? I mean, Devin did what he's supposed to do. He pushed them. He got the people talking. And it pretty much set the tone all the way to the weigh-ins. You know what I'm saying? From the weigh-ins to the fight day. That's what it was supposed to do. He was supposed to do something. Tank does it all the time, and people get to talking. You know what I'm saying? Like the time he was down here in Atlanta, and he was like an hour plus late, and people was just talking. There's a lot of black people down here talking. Just you can hear all the mumbling, blah blah blah. And when Tank finally came in, and he was over, you know, it was a subtle shift. People was like, "Oh man, he missed weight after all that. Oh my God, the fight's in jeopardy." And then him and Gamboa faced off, and then he pushed him, and it was a melee. It totally took a room that was just like puzzled, right? They had a room that was puzzled. They was like, what do I do? You know, what do I do? I got a room that's puzzled. You know, people that's sitting here, Tank is late. You know, I'm a little bit bored. And then it just totally changed the mood from that moment all the way up to fight day. From that evening to fight day. All because there was a melee in there. You know, teams was going back and forth. Yes, man. You know, it was crazy. It was crazy. It did what it's supposed to do. The push did what it was supposed to do. All the way into the fight. Loma said he got him. I said to myself, okay, it's gonna be good now. Loma said he felt his power. He don't have none, so it's there. So I felt that both fighters went in there and fought. You know what I'm saying? And it was a very competitive fight, man. You know, go check out the film studies. I don't know if I know shout out to Blood Boxing. You know, Blood did a round 1 through 6. I'm not sure if he did 6 through 12. I mean 7 through 12 yet. But check out the film study over there. And also check out Boxing Gems. I'm pretty sure he did some film study. He usually do film study already. But I've been a little busy or what have you. But when, all I'm saying, just over a little bit. It's all that's talked about, unfortunately. It was a high impact fight. We haven't had too many fights that was just high impact like that. I'm gonna be honest. It was a competitive fight. You know, I also thought, you know, Amanda Serrano fight, her last fight, it was a very good fight too. I mean, banging out like it was cool. I can put Jahad Tucker fight against Nico. That was high impact too. No matter who was on the freaking main card or co-main, I'm telling you, that could be up there too. Much bigger fighter. All that. I mean, two different. And then you'll have people like I said before, you can't really put Benavidez Plant up there. Plant kind of messed that up. He was holding too much. So you can't say, okay, that was the fight that we all wanted to see right there. It turned out the way we thought. Now it was just too much holding. It was too much holding. And it's one fight that I'm missing. It's one fight that I'm missing. I don't know what it is. It's on the tip of my tongue. It's one fight that I'm missing that can be up there in the top 3 too. But definitely, you know, Lomachenko, Haney was a very impactful fight. The only reason when it comes to Gervonta, both his fights with Ryan Garcia, because it wasn't a lot of action. Like, it wasn't back and forth exchanges. The action came quick in a hurry when Gervonta knocked him down, and then, you know, little small pockets of action in between the fight until he stopped him with a body shot. And then with Hector Garcia, no, I can't add that. It was very little back and forth, you know, in that fight. But we have to be patient. We have to understand boxing. They are always gonna give you the twists and the turns of the sport. You know, those who are actually making moves in the sport, they always gonna give you something, make you say, you know. They're always gonna do that. They're always gonna give you some type of incident that make you frown up and feel some type of way about the sport. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is, man. But the good thing about it is, we did get to see Amari Jones fight. Man, you need work. You don't want any of that Jahad Tucker work. Man, he would give you your first L, and he would make you feel a little bit different about competing in the sport from that day forward. Real talk. I'm only saying this because, you know, he put it out there that he wasn't impressed and all that. But, dude, you was damn near going life and limb with a guy. Bro, you don't want that gorilla. You don't want that gorilla. For real. You don't want that gorilla. Leave Jahai alone. You know what I'm saying? Because he would definitely come up to your weight class and teach you a curriculum that you didn't know existed in boxing. You continue to be a sparring partner over there and do what you want to do and take it from there. But if you talking about going over here and stand across the ring from Jahai Tucker, you might want to find that little piece of segment that you said when asked by Danny, which you want that to happen since they was hyping the shit all up, right? You know what I'm saying? Maybe you need to just look at them. Once again, when you go on the show and say, you know what? I'm thinking more so up the road with Jahai, way up the road. I'm talking about like 8 to 10 years. I got to catch him when, you know, how old is he now? 20? He'll be 30. Oh, yeah, that'll be time. About 10 years from now. You need to get him 10 years up the road, you know, and get your mind right if you're still in boxing. You know what I'm saying? You might go back to playing flag football or something. I don't know. You fight like a football player, for real. You try to throw all these hard punches, but ain't going to take too much time on you. But shout out to Team Tucker. I don't think Amari's ever going to sign that fight. And for you not to be impressed, then what are we thinking about your fight you just had? The referee helped you out. You know that was some bullshit like everything else, man. The referee helped you out. Kudos to you getting a stoppage. Kudos to you, dog. But what else in the sport, man? What else we have to look forward to coming up? You know, shout out to Team Tucker back on deck July 1st. Jerry Anderson, Toledo, back in the building. I believe Shushu Carrington is on that next fight, I think. Or he might be on the T.O. fight. I think, yeah, he's on it. Let me see. No, he's on the T.O. fight. He's on the T.O. fight card. Yeah. There's a lot of call outs. Let's see how many of them get made though. All the call outs is out there. All the potential fights. You know, the heavyweight division, I don't know what the hell they got going on. But like I said, you have the unified champion, and it's almost like all of a sudden, you have the Red Sea. All of a sudden, you have the Red Sea. You feel me? All of a sudden, you have the Red Sea, y'all. Nothing can happen. We can't get Usyk Fury. It's too much water in between them. Crawford Spence. We have Luda Bella on record as saying he don't give a F about that fight. What's with all the aggression? He said he don't give a F about that fight. Probably because Al Heyman is the advisor, and he no longer. So you got to tie all that together. You know what I'm saying? When people have certain situations with certain managers and certain promotions, the Bella can have some underlying issue, personal issue with Al. So for him to say, I don't give a F about it, and people just run with it. You got to understand, why are they being so abrasive? Because he's no longer doing business over there like that. So, of course, he's going to be all I'm talking about abrasive, sour. You know what I'm saying? He's going to give you the most, I mean, sting. He said, I don't give a F about the fight. How can you not give a F about one fight when there's nothing come about it? So if somebody asks you, oh, what do you think about the Crawford Spence fight? I really don't think it piques my interest at all. I don't have a timeline on when it's going to happen. I'm just being honest with you. I don't know. So since I don't know, it's not much I can say about it. I mean, you know, they over there doing this, that, and the other. We don't know why it ain't happening. You know, all this stuff he could have said. But, you know, people been talking about it, blah, 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 and all this other shit. But understand one thing. It's a reason why. It's a reason why He was harsh the way he was. I'm just saying. It's the reason why he was harsh the way he was. I'm just saying. I got a busy day today. Hopefully everybody Tuesday is going well. You feel me? Hopefully they're doing great. But we shall touch back. I didn't want to stay on here too long. So much to do in one day. But what do y'all think about what Roy Jones said about the fight? You know, Roy Jones made his comments about Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, right? But no one's really talking about what Roy Jones said about the Lomachenko-Haney situation and what he thought about the dang outcome. We're going to talk about that later, but I'm just saying, it got to be controversy. It got to be about your favorite fighter, because y'all could very well talk about what the legend himself, RJJ, said about the situation, the results. Seriously. You know what I'm saying? They had so much to say about him before. We had people just inserting themselves into a situation every time Roy Jones say, you know, Spence ain't fought nobody. You know, they was all up in arms. What about this right here? Y'all talked about Paulie. What about RJJ? He had something to say about it. Robert Garcia had something to say about it. You know? What's the deal? Keep the same energy, for real. Keep the same energy on who you're critiquing when they open their mouth. Especially at this day and time, people act like boxers cannot open their mouth and speak their mind. You know what I'm saying? But it's only fair that you all critique all of these people who's commenting on this fight. There's a lot of tweets that's out. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, check out what RJJ said. Check out what RJJ said, you know, in response to this decision. You know, people don't want to talk too much about it because it's not controversial. You know, it's not their favorite fighter. It's being talked about. So they don't want to really, you know, they don't want to put it in their conversation. But there's plenty of people that's out there that gave their comment. You know, you had people, you know, listening to what Nelly said. Y'all make these celebrities who are honorable mention at this day and time, y'all make them a star again. Because they can go to a boxing match, something outside their professional genre, and they're just a fan, and say something like, excuse me, what Nelly said, but he's not contributing another penny, and people taking the run with it and start criticizing him. Like he say he's not like if it would have played out like this, if Nelly would have said, I'm not spending another penny on boxing, I thought Haney won, everybody'd be like, okay, cool. But he said clearly, you know, this was a travesty. He thought that Lomachenko won the fight. Then that's what switched him over to say, oh, F him, he ain't did nothing. Okay, he's living better than you. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the way it goes. That's just the way it goes, man. It's so weird and strange how boxing fans, you know, it becomes racial so quick, man. Just off simple disagreements. You know, just simple disagreement. It's become a race card. It becomes a freaking race car for real. But I'm gonna dip out. I'll be back on a little later. Y'all continue to hold it down, support the channel. And you know, we about to hit like a little dead spot. We got Teofimo Lopez coming up with Josh Taylor. You know what I'm saying? That's a big fight. Real talk. That's a title fight. And this is gonna be Teofimo's championship fight at 140. This is what a lot of people been talking about. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they talking about. People dusting Teo if so-and-so moves up and all that. I was like, okay. All right, if you think that's gonna, you know, pay close attention to this Josh Taylor fight. If you talking about so-and-so move up and dust Teofimo, okay. All right, if you say so. But we do have that Teofimo Lopez and Josh Taylor fight coming up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can say what you want. People want to say, oh, it's all about who they like. I don't like T.O. because he didn't do this. For some, those days are over. What he didn't do for Haney, them days are over. He didn't fight him, but Haney ended up getting the pot of gold anyway. So you can say what you want. You can feel some type of way. It truly don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It truly don't matter. He got the titles. You can say what you want about him and Kambosos, but if he wasn't 100%, dude went in there balls to the wall and tried to get him up out of there. You got to give him that credit that he went in there and tried to get the fight over with, knowing that he wasn't feeling 100%. And then to face a flash knockdown early in the fight and continue to fight the way he did, come on, man, that's hard. That's hard, baby. But y'all hold it down.